So another quick sharing of thoughts, let's call it, on dependencies. Process dependencies is one that is rarely thought of. So the last episode we thought about the underlying structure of the technical infrastructure and how anything below it can compromise everything above. But process-wise, and that can be just even like the manual processes with which data is moved around in a department, even the hard copies, that kind of stuff. You really have to take that into consideration, because if you don't think about those things, that there are other ways to bypass that. And that can be both kind of like physical processes, hard copy processes, but also how IT is deployed, for example. There was a great, good one from a few years ago where I was talking to the, what was his title? Head of infrastructure for an airport. And he was talking about the conveyor belts that deliver the luggage, where you pick up your luggage after the flight. And he was like, they never break down. I was like, well, how's that possible? He was like, well, we, obviously they're powered by electric motors. And there are sensors in the electric motors that monitor the voltage. And when the voltage gets a little bit erratic, that's a sign that that motor is about to fail in the next days, weeks, months, whatever. But we know that it's on its way out. So overnight, in the few hours, between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m., when the airport's not operating any flights, we replace that motor. So it never reaches the point where it actually fails. It's like, okay, so how is that done? Oh, well, there's we partner with these hardware maintenance companies, and they install these sensors, and they have a connection, an outside connection that relays the information. And it turned out that these sensors, that this third party, and this is a industrial hardware maintenance company with zero cybersecurity experience, had a direct connection behind the firewall to the internal airside network of the airport. And when I asked him, does your security team know about this? He just paused for a second. He's like, no, I don't think so. So everything you've done now, from the previous episode we talked about the hierarchy in the stack. Now we're talking more about a horizontal network level. Everything you have done, every partition, every network defense has now been bypassed. So that's another way that you really have to think about how do we structure these things. And you have to be aware of how, and we've talked about this before, but you cannot secure your organization if you are not familiar with the processes in every part of your organization. You have to go through them. What do you do? How does stuff work? And go back all the way to because very often they'll give you an answer. It's like, oh, from here to here. No. You need to know from here, from the very beginning to there. So keep going, just like I want to see the physical server infrastructure. Like, no, I want to really understand, the actual machine. How's it connected? How does it communicate? What's it connected through? What's it routed through? How does that interface? It's very, very important to systematically go through these things. And these things take time. But if you do not do it, everything you do will always be compromisable. You'll always have that gap in the fish tank analogy. More coming up next.